Hi, I'm Rich.
And I'm Shelly. Welcome to Air2Ground Farms live on Monday night. Hope you guys are all doing well and enjoying some of this wonderful weather we've been having. We got to enjoy it today.
We did. Man, we rushed in. You guys, we left the Branson airport and the GPS said that we would be here at like after 6 o'clock.
Yep. And here we are.
I drove the speed limit.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
But we made it. We did. And we got to watch the entire air show, which we were a little concerned that we were going to have to leave. And it culminated with the Blue Angels. So we were glad we got to watch all of that and take Michaela, our youngest 13-year-old, to go and see the Blue Angels. The reason that we weren't even planning on going at all, but we did because, as it turned out, she didn't know who they were, and that's a crime in this family.
Right. Our first duty station after joining the Air Force was actually at Naval Air Station Pensacola, and that is the home of the Blue Angels. So Rebecca certainly remembers, because she was 3. The Blues flew right over our house every Tuesday for their practices. Mm-hmm. So Rebecca certainly knows who the Blues were. So when she mentioned that the Blue Angels were going to be at the air show, Rebecca mentioned it to Michaela, and Michaela said, "Who is that?" That didn't go over well.
She was sort of doing the face palm thing, and kind of told Mom and Dad they needed to fix it. So we did.
I was very, very happy to hear, though, when I asked her what was her favorite performance and why, she said the F-22. And one of the reasons was because it was the Air Force.
Yep, which is awesome. Next year, the Thunderbirds are going to be there.
Yeah, that's great. So, it's been a few years, I guess, since they've done a Branson Air Show. So it was really cool to get to go to an air show and watch.
Yeah, there were some really cool planes that I had never seen before. They've, a lot of the experimental acrobatic type planes, they're putting small jet engines underneath bi-wings,
Biplanes, yeah.
Biplane. It's not a bi-wing plane?
It is a bi-wing plane.
Oh,
you're absolutely right.
Well, at any rate.
The extra 300s, the ones they use for the Red Bull races.
Yeah.
Golly. Those guys do things with an airplane that you should not be able to do with an airplane.
I was pretty much sure that a lot of the things that they were doing with airplanes today, as a mom, you should not do. Because it's just really looks unsafe.
You know what?
Huh?
I said, you know what?
What?
It made me miss it.
I knew that it was going to. I knew it. I could see you sitting there just kind of shaking your leg. And I'm like, oh no. Now he's missing it.
Now I'm missing it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Go fly an airplane, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe someday.
Someday.
When you want to.
Yeah. Let's look at some comments.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
hello, Susie Q. Hello from cooler northern Indiana. 76 degrees was the high. 40 is the low.
Sweet.
That is cooler. Oh. Tricia says 89 in north central Washington today, ready for the burger months to start a little bit.
Yeah.
Could really enjoy days around 70 for the next month or so. Our high today was in the 70s. Although, as soon as you walked onto the flight line, man, it always gets hot on a flight line.
It's either hotter or it's colder.
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
it's windier.
Yeah.
You get it for some reason, a flight line, it just exacerbates whatever the conditions are.
Yeah. We both got a little sun.
Yeah. We did. It got hot there for a minute. I was hunting shade like the sheep.
Yeah.
That's what I told. Well, we did walk over there by the little coffee trailer or whatever near us. And there were some other people that were hot standing in the shade. And I told Michaela, I'm like, we're just standing here like a bunch of sheep by a tree.
You're going to kill the grass. Anna says hello. Phil says hi, everyone. Great day in Southwest Missouri. Temp is 70 and getting a little more rain. Man, send some of it our way, Phil. We ran into some on the way between Branson and here, but it hasn't rained here still. Yesterday, man.
They called for it and they called for it.
At the end of the week last week, it said 100% chance of rain on Monday. And I mowed.
Yeah, some weedy stuff. To clear off some of that stimmy stuff.
Yeah, there's some kind of
Some sort of ragweed.
Ragweed. It's a something leaf ragweed, and none of the animals will eat it, and it shades out the grass. So I knocked
We
it
don't
down.
have it everywhere, but this one particular hill that we're working on is, boy, this time of year, it really.
I was hoping for some rain, afterwards.
Yeah. No, they call for 100%. We got nothing, y'all.
Yeah.
Nothing. And they don't understand what they're doing to farmers when they say you got 100% chance of rain and then you get nothing. Like, they don't even understand.
At least give me 80% or something.
Yeah. Like, lower the chances.
Yeah. Farmhand Huck says farm tools. This will be good. Yeah. We're going to talk about tools.
We should have you in here with us, huh?
Seriously. Mary says, woohoo, weather's much nicer and getting a little much needed rain. Awesome. And then now and then here in the southwest corner of Missouri. Nice to turn off the old AC.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it our way. Angels Homestead says, hi, everyone. Susie Q, lovely, so much fun. Becca is having fun with the air show talk. Facepalm. Angels Homestead, watching the Blue Angels fly is something awesome. It is.
Yes, it
and
is.
we really took it for granted because we got to see them so often, like literally every week.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Not just the Blue Angels. Like, we enjoyed being around fighter jets all the time.
Truly did feel like it was a sound of freedom.
Still do.
Yeah.
And I never took that for granted. Sometimes it was a little annoying if you're trying to put the babies down to sleep and you live on base and it's just super loud. But for the most part, we enjoyed it and still do. I mean, it just still, I got a taxi ride in one time, which was amazing. But I've never obviously flown in them, but it just is so inspiring and exhilarating and patriotic and all the things. Like, heck yeah, go get them.
Yeah. I would always fly loud.
Always.
So most people, when they go into the break over the airfield, they will pull it to idle power. I would put it in mill power.
Which means just before afterburner, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
I wanted Shelley to know that I was home.
And he always was the loudest one. And I'd be like, oh, would you come in at about 2:32? Yep.
Yes, I did.
I would know every time if I was home.
Yep.
Yep.
Homestead Jude said, hi guys, living traditions. Hi. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Glad you had a good time at the air show, sprinkling at our place. Oh, good.
Oh,
'Cause
good.
I know y'all need the rain too. Mm-hmm. Mom, you figured out how to make comments?
Linda McGlamory. Hi there from Northeast Oklahoma.
Well, hi. Looks like y'all were getting some rain
Yeah.
too. Susie Q. Hello, Linda. Anna says, just saw a weekly forecast. There are some colder temps coming, but not as far south as Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall, y'all's great on weather here on YouTube. We agree. We do watch Ryan Hall, y'all, but typically it's
When bad weather's
coming.
Yeah.
Carol says hello from Philly, and Tricia says we get jets over us fairly regularly from NAS Whitby when they come into Eastern Washington. We love it. We also call it the Sound of Freedom. Yeah. Growlers are flying up there.
Yeah, we've had quite a few friends go to Whitby,
yeah.
and fly there over the years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They say. I haven't been.
So we've been talking about a lot of tools you used to use.
Prepped for Eternity Homestead says hello from Alabama. And Linda, mom, says, look out. Yes, we got 2.7 inches in the last 3 days. Dang.
Wow.
Dad's going to have to mow twice.
I'll be darned. Yeah. Still nothing here really to speak of. It was sprinkling when we came in just now, but that's not going to help
Yeah.
not much at all.
We should do a farm update.
Yeah?
We have some bad news on the farm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
What?
It's always just like farming is just typical everyday stuff. But the things that always stand out are the ones with animals. That's just the bad stuff,
Well, we often talk about the good things that are happening on the farm and how good the animals are doing and production and
That's
all of
true.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's real and fair to talk about when bad things happen too.
Okay.
So, as you know, we have dairy cows, and one of our dairy cows just wasn't looking real great. So we've had that happen before, and ended up with a cow that had a disease called Johne's disease. It's a bacterial infection that gets into their intestines, and it's highly contagious, and it is not treatable, and it kills them. It is contagious through their manure. And typically it is passed from mother to calf from having manure on their udders and on their teats. And so the calves get it into their system. And after about 2 years, right at 2 years, there's enough of the bacteria built up in their system that it starts to reproduce, and they become contagious, and they start what they call shedding, and the bacteria is coming out in their poop. And so it's not a good thing. Well, about 1.5 years ago, we had one of our dairy cows she got sick, and then she went all the way to skin and bones. And by the time we had
the vet out, they treated for other
Yeah.
things. And then finally it got to the point where we need to test her for this.
Yeah.
And
she tested positive, and I went out almost immediately. I took the shotgun and went out and dropped her because she was suffering, and she was skin and bones, and she was spreading the disease all over the ground.
And the disease is similar to parvo. Parvo stays on property. It can last up to a year. It's kind of like that. It's very strong bacteria that can linger for, up to a year in the ground.
Yeah, depending on the conditions, especially if it's cool and shady, damp.
Yeah,
it can stay for
of
up
course,
to a year.
Dry and sunshine is helpful.
Right. So after that happened, we scraped all of the topsoil out of our dairy area, and then we treated it with lime, which can help. And we tested all of the cows after that, and everyone tested negative. And about 2 weeks ago, another cow, she wasn't as bad, but she started going down. It was the one that we called Happy. And we had the vet out. Vet took a blood sample, tested for Yonis. About 4 days later, we got a call back that she tested positive. And we're like...
And so Betty, at first, they were our first 2 dairy cows. Betty was kind of my cow because that's the side that I milked on. And he and I would, go out and milk together, and he would milk one and I would milk the other and all. And he would milk Happy and I would milk Betty. So for me, it was hard when that happened with Betty. It's hard no matter what, but this one was especially hard for him because that was kind of his cow that he milked. Now, we don't milk hardly ever anymore. Rebecca and Huck take care of the milking at this point, but we're still close to the cows. And if your dairy cows on a homestead or a small farm, micro dairy, they're the hub, and they're treated like princesses, and they're more like pets than they are your beef cows.
Yeah.
Beef cows, we don't pet them and hug them and love them and whisper sweet nothings in their ear so they give us milk. Right. And with the dairy cows, we're so connected with them, and they give to us every day. I mean, when they leave the barn, I always say, thank you, and it just breaks your heart to have to do something like that. So, with Betty, Rich took care of her, but knowing that he was so close to Happy, I just was like, no, we're not doing it like that this time. You're not doing it. It's not easy on a human heart and mind to have to do that. So we called a friend who does that. He does on-farm kills and processing. And we got on his list on an ASAP basis, and we had him come out. And instead of losing it all, we had him come out and process her so that she still gives, and it's not a complete and total loss.
So the question is, what about Yonis and the meat? And the answer to that question is, it's not in the meat. It stays in their intestine. But what happens is that it makes it so that they don't uptake any nutrients. So they lose condition really, really quickly. And so that's why we were trying to hurry to get on Matt's list to have him come process her. Was we watched it last time with Betty, and they lose like tens of pounds a day. Like it happens so fast how quickly they lose condition. So we were able to get her processed before she had gotten down. Really, mm-hmm. She still looked fine.
Yeah. There's not a lot.
There's not a lot on
to dairy cows anyway, to begin with, but there was some left. And Susie Q. Martin has a good question that I think we should answer.
Yeah.
You can pop it up on the screen.
Okay.
Will you move your dairy to a completely new location so that you don't deal with this issue? The answer is, at this point, everyone has been exposed. So typically it's a calf problem. And our best guess is that Happy and Betty both came with it because they both were heifers that came previously from dairies, that another person basically backgrounded them, got them bred, raised them up to be bred heifers and sold them like that. And our guess is that typically it happens when they're calves. So we have now had everyone tested. We're waiting on the tests to come back on Artie and Stella. Now, Stella, when she turned 2, because that's when the bacterial load gets high enough that it will actually show up on a blood test. We had her tested when she was 2 in January, and she was negative.
Stella was Betty's calf. So if anybody was going to be positive, we assumed it was Betty's calf.
Right.
And she tested negative.
So we were elated that she tested negative, like, man, we're out of the woods. Typically grown cows don't get it because, as if you've ever seen a pasture and it's got clumps of grass, that's because there's probably a pile of manure there and cows just won't eat around manure. They don't like it. They just don't. And so typically grown cows don't pick it up from other grown cows.
It has to be like really nasty, muddy,
Right.
Throwing up mud and muck and manure.
Standing in it
all the time.
And ours don't.
That's not the conditions we have. So we're hoping that they don't have it. Maybe next week we should, when we check in with you guys, we should have an update to let you know how everybody's doing.
And the bacteria, even in the calves, it's held within their intestinal system until the bacterial load gets high enough that it starts to, quote, shed. And that doesn't happen until after they're 2. So the calves that were with them, we had a couple of steers that we've since moved. They will, if they're positive, they will hold on to that until they're 2. Well, those steers will be processed before that. So we're okay with that. If they were heifers, then we'd be right back on this same wagon of, what's going to happen with them. Do we keep them? Do we process them?
Well, because we do beef on dairy,
right?
We would process those heifers. Like we wouldn't keep them in the herd. I wouldn't even test them. I would process them.
They would just go. So we're confident with them because they're steers that we can raise them out to be meat, and they won't show any signs of it until, or even they'll hold on to all of it until before the process.
Yeah.
Right.
So if Stella and Artie are positive, then we have decisions to make. And we also have a bull in with them. So we will have decisions to make on that. We don't know exactly what we'll do. Artie is about halfway through her pregnancy, and Stella is either just barely bred or not bred yet. So we would have some choices to make, and I don't know exactly what we will do.
So we're just waiting. We'll hear tomorrow, I'm sure.
If they are both positive and we end up having to take out all of the dairy cows,
I'm done.
We will shut down the dairy,
and we won't have it.
We won't have it for at least a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then for us, there are pluses and minuses to when you buy your dairy cows. And for us, we wanted to buy them as heifers so we could train them. And we spent months training them before they ever had their first calf. Yeah. And we wanted to do that sort of like getting a puppy, right? Like you can train it to you and gentle it. And we really did. And they were great cows. But from this point forward, for us, if we're to ever buy a dairy cow again, it will be over 2 years old with a negative Yonis test before we bring it onto the farm.
Yeah, I will have our vet, who we have a good relationship with now. I will have her come with us I will pay the money. We're going to get tests. We're going to do a vet check. We're going to get all of the things, because at this point, a dairy cow is such an investment that you can't risk having a potentially sick cow in a year.
Yeah.
And if any of you are looking at getting a dairy cow, then I highly recommend do your due diligence. Make sure that you have negative tests in your hands. Maybe even have your vet go out with you, do a proper health check. And if that person that's selling that cow doesn't want you to do that, then don't buy that cow.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a used car that somebody's hiding something. You didn't know it was going to need a new transmission, but it does. And now you're the owner of this car, right? So, the same thing. So, we will get a full grown. It doesn't have, it doesn't even have to be trained, We can train a cow, but it needs to be well.
Yep. So go through a couple more comments. Xana says, we got a good hard rain in Central Texas yesterday. That's great. And Josephine says, howdy, beautiful people.
Hi there.
Trisha says, I'm so sorry. I remember the loss of my first dairy cow. It's deeper than most people realize. Yeah. It was tough when I had to put Betty down.
Yeah.
And then when
I cried,
Matt came and put Happy down, I was out there. I just didn't watch.
Yeah, I cried, and I jokingly call myself, I don't put animals down. I'll kill the meat chickens for sure, but I'm not the one to typically handle euthanizing one that's not well or for whatever reason. But I am like the Queen of Hearts, y'all. I'll be like, off with its head. Please go do something.
And then that falls on me. Yeah.
And it falls on
Angel's
you.
Homestead says, so sorry, praying for y'all. Thank you. Tricia says, glad you were able to harvest the meat. I was going to ask that. Yeah. Homestead Jude says, so sorry about your cows. So sad. Yeah. Tricia says, prayers that the rest of your cows are clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mary says, so sorry. And then Anna has a question. Can the 2 steers be processed in a USDA facility? They can.
They can.
Yep. It's not a test that they do on beef in a USDA facility. Yeah. So we're not even going to test the steers. They will be processed before they're 2, and there won't be any signs that there was Yonis there.
Yeah. They'll be just fine.
Yeah. And then later in the week, 2 days later, we had a pig that was... Piglet.
I guess. It would still be a piglet.
About 75 pounds. She had an umbilical hernia that continued to grow and grow, and we were going to try to let her get as big as we could.
And she did.
She started showing some signs of just a little bit of weakness. Yeah. And so we put down a piglet this week as well. Our pigs are grown for food, so that's not the issue. It's just, about, 200 pounds prior to when we would normally do it. So we did that on farm and processed the meat for ourselves. So
we are going to smoke. I think we're going to throw in a big smoker.
Have a little pig barbecue.
Yeah, just halves about however long. It'll be pretty cool.
Susie Q says, "Man, oh man, this is definitely the downside of farming.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. What a disappointing experience." Yeah. And then Anna says, "Can a flamethrower kill the bacteria on the ground?" I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. But
probably.
The problem is that she was walking around in an area of about 5 acres.
Yeah.
And so it's like...
So really, it's just going to be a time thing.
Yeah.
And
hopefully the other two don't have it.
Yeah.
And, so we have chickens going to the processor. We load them tomorrow, and they will go to the processor on Wednesday morning.
Oh, today's Monday.
Yeah.
Totally feels like Sunday.
No, it's Monday.
Oh.
So they'll go to the processor on Wednesday morning. That will be a batch of about 160. That will leave one more batch to go to the processor, and then one half batch of about 75 that we will process on farms to put in our freezer.
Yeah, we are coming down to the wire.
Chicken season is winding down.
Yes, it
Talk
is.
about a farm update. That's a good one.
We'll be glad to announce that we're all done.
Yeah. Tricia says there are some phases on the farm that just suck. I have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
And the loss of a dairy cow is one of those phases.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Most of the days are just good, though.
Yep. Turkeys are doing great.
Oh, my goodness. They're going to be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, good update. So hauling the turkeys. We're going to get them USDA processed, so we have to take them 2.5 hours away from here. And we have all of these orange chicken crates to put chickens in and haul them. And we're like, what are we going to do with these 50-pound turkeys by the time it's the end of October? How are we going to get them to Arkansas? So they have turkey crates, but we know these things aren't going to fit in turkey crates. And if you do put 4 of them in there, it's going to weigh 200 pounds. And so we were just racking our brains. Every phase that we grow, we have to learn what's the next process. How are we going to get them there? What are the logistics behind the fact that, you can order 50 turkey pullets, but now you got to figure out what to do with them, And so the last one we grew out, we just grew them for ourselves and didn't have to transport them anywhere. So I called our processor and she said, do you have a livestock trailer? We're like, yeah. Well, you just bring them in a livestock trailer. Okay. And then I guess they set up the whole processing plant to receive turkeys. They put them in big cages, big areas while they wait to be processed. So we were totally relieved by that to just be able to put
$1,500 probably.
Yeah. And just the thought of picking up these massive birds and trying to get them in those cages, in those crates was just, talk about a rodeo. That was about to be.
Turkey rodeo.
So we just get to put them into the trailer.
Livestock trailer.
Yeah.
At the end of October. So we still got a couple months with them.
Yeah. And turkeys are so easy.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're not like chickens, even at all, to raise. Oh, handy dandy.
It's my favorite farm tool, y'all.
Yeah. So we did say we want to talk about farm tools. And his number one go-to, I used to have one. It's on the farm somewhere.
So this is a Leatherman Skeletool. And it's got your standard Leatherman little pliers. It's got a little screwdriver on this end. It's got a knife. The thing that I like about the Skeletool is it's so thin. Mm-hmm. And I can carry it in my pocket where your normal Leatherman, man, they're thick and heavy. And I like the one, if you see, it's got a serrated edge on it. And I prefer that serrated edge. I know some people don't like it because you can't really sharpen it, but with the serrated edge, it stays sharp. Mm-hmm. So this is my second one. The first one, the pliers broke on it, and I'm going to send it back. They've got a great warranty, but I couldn't be without it, so I ordered another one. And by the time the serrated edge was getting dull, the pliers were worn out. So that is my, when Shell said, let's do farm tools, what's your favorite? That was must have one of these because it's right there in your pocket. I don't go out to farm without that Leatherman Skeletool is what they call it.
And I did have one very similar, but mine wasn't the serrated edge. It was.
That's right.
But it did fall out of my pocket and
somewhere. Mine fell out of my pocket at our camper down by the lake.
And it stayed there for 6 months? No.
No, it was about 6 weeks.
Oh,
7 weeks.
You just used your pocket knife then?
I did.
You just fussed
when you didn't have fussed the whole time.
But we found it. It had just underneath the camper. So that was cool. Mm. So having a multi-tool of some sort on your belt somewhere, or in your husband's pocket, that's a good place for it too.
If you happen to be the husband, you might want to put one in your pocket.
In case she needs a multi-tool. And a good quality one is great, but any that you can afford and get your hands on.
The thing that I found though is like with the $10 or $15 ones, oftentimes the pliers don't work or they break really quickly. And
there tend to be a little bulkier.
Actual Leatherman, I think the Skeletool is like $80, $89, something like that. So it's less than $100. So it's not stupid expensive. But my last one lasted for 2.5 years and it's still under warranty. So I'm going to send it back and get a replacement on it. Yeah. So I for me, I mean, hay bales that are wire tied.
Yeah.
Clip. It's
or even
so
hay
useful.
bales that are twined. If we get them from the feed store, having the serrated edge is handy because it just grabs it and goes right through.
Yeah.
Another really good tool or must-have tool on our farm is a handheld, just simple, buy it at Tractor Supply post pounder.
And not the little skinny, dinky
No,
one.
Gotta have one with a little bit of oomph behind
It's got to
it.
have some oomph in it.
Yeah. We have a couple, 2 or 3.
Well, we have 2, but both are broken.
No, they're not anymore.
Huck took them and welded them back together
Today, he said they're welded together, and I said, "Is it a nice strong weld?" And he said Jason wouldn't swear by it. So, just see what happens.
Well, one of them's, I've already welded one handle back on.
Yeah.
And now we've welded a handle back on another one and an end cap on.
And I can tell you that proves the point. The fact that these things have had to be put back together shows the amount that we use them. Yes, for pounding in T-posts, but mostly for for doing the hay baler. Not baler, bale and roller.
The bale and roller.
Yeah. We use that to put the spikes into the big round bales because it's hard to get the spikes in. And we'll end up oftentimes having to really pound it in. What else? Do you use it for any other things?
Getting T-posts out of the ground also. Turn it upside down, and then you can sort of ratchet the post out of the ground.
Right.
I think
that's true.
That may be as big of a deal because we now have one of the Rhino, gas-powered hydraulic post drivers. It's still handheld, but we now are able to drive the posts in, and we can pull the posts out with the tractor, but you can't always get the tractor to where the posts are.
Right.
So that post pounder, you flip it upside down and put the open end on the tines of the post, and you can sort of
ratchet it out.
You ratchet the post out of the ground using the tool. So I think the post pounder is great for that also.
Yeah. One of the things I thought too, if you're going to have a farm, you have fences. And if you have fences, you probably got trees. And trees fall on fences. So the best quality chainsaw, that was probably tool number 3 that we bought when we got here that we didn't bring with us. Like we had a chainsaw, not a good enough one. And going and investing in a big Husqvarna of some sort.
Husqvarna, something.
And getting yourself a really good chainsaw because it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And I think I bought the biggest steel weed eater that they had and got a blade. And I have a tri-blade, looks sort of like a Chinese star. And then I also have a blade that looks like a skill saw blade. Mm-hmm. And having a big weed eater with shoulder straps with blades.
Kind of like the big professional, driving weed eater.
Yeah, with a blade on it.
Man. Those they've gotten their miles.
Oh.
In the 4 years that we've been doing this.
Crazy.
My goodness. Yeah. You want to take a couple of comments?
Yeah, sure. Trisha says, I need a filming of loading those turkeys in the trailer. LOL. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, good idea.
Thank you.
Okay.
It'll be October. We're always trying to come up with ideas to do for videos, and that's a good one.
Okay.
So,
it'll probably look like somewhere between a rodeo and a circus, I'm sure.
Maybe this clown's at the rodeo.
Yeah, for sure.
Susie Q says, that's my everyday carry. We call it a multi-tool. Yep, absolutely. Carol says, how many 5-gallon buckets do you own? I would imagine it's in the dozens. Not enough ever.
That's what Michaela said one day. You can never have too many 5-gallon buckets. And we use our 5-gallon buckets for hauling feed all over the farm. Everyone gets fed out of some semblance of a 5-gallon bucket.
We probably have 2 dozen in our everyday rotation. And then various 5-gallon buckets in other places.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We've probably got 40 or 50 on the farm.
Yeah.
But we just bought more. And then when Mom and Dad were here, when we were gone, they bought more. So
the best 5-gallon buckets, though, by far, are recycled paint 5-gallon buckets that had paint in them.
They were so much stronger.
They're so much stronger. The handles are stronger. Even the little plastic doodah that goes around the handle, it's a doodah. It's stronger. The whole thing is just stronger. It's meant to hold what? It's meant to hold paint, and it's heavy. So they've made it to where. So what we need to do is contact some painters and see if they have any, and get some recycled ones. A friend of ours, David, he brought a bunch to us, and that they have been like primo.
We mentioned in one of our videos, you can never have too many buckets. And he's like, well, I've got a bunch of them that I'm not using.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of the paint buckets we're using came from him.
Yeah. But the ones you get at Walmart, like they don't handle wet pig feed. They just don't. They can't handle dry feed. We can do the dry chicken feed.
Yeah.
But the fermented pig feed, we have to use. It's heavy. We have to use the heavy duty paint buckets.
And the handles come off of them. Just they're just hooked in, the metal handles are hooked into the plastic.
Yeah.
And it just wears out down there on the bottom, and we end up pulling the handles out of them.
Yeah.
So
lots of them.
Rebecca's
Yes,
answer
you're right.
was tons.
Yes. Tons and tons of 5-gallon buckets.
Homestead Jude says, don't take your Leatherman to the airport. I had one confiscated once. Too sad.
No.
Yeah. That is terrible. This was prior to 2001, prior to 9/11. When we were stationed in England, I went to the Heathrow airport with my Benchmade knife, which is a really expensive knife
that
I flew with.
Mm-hmm.
And it was part of my military gear. And I went to the airport with it thinking I'm military and I have my military knife.
But we were going on vacation.
Yeah, well,
you weren't with your military gear,
but
your military.
It was,
yeah.
I'd have my knife.
But what happened to it?
They took it from me.
Yes, they did.
But they held it for me
until you came back.
Until I came
and
back.
We picked it up
they gave it back to me, which I was surprised about because it was a locking blade and it was
over 4 inches long.
Maybe.
Or at the 4-inch mark.
Or maybe not bigger than what they want you to have in England.
But they held it. That was nice.
They did hold it for me. Yeah, Tricia says, that's heartbreaking. Yeah. Farmhand Huck says, you cannot skip out on power drills. Buying cheap ones will not cut it. You're absolutely right.
100%. 100%.
We use the cordless. We've got
several.
3 cordless drivers and 2 cordless drills.
Yeah.
A couple of DeWalt and a couple of Bosch. All of them.
Because we can take that driver and some deck screws and the pallets and throw together a shelter in about
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Really fast. So that's a good point, Huck. That's a good one.
We use the driver a lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an adapter for the driver that allows me to put sockets on it as well. And that's required. If you've watched the video when I went out and fixed our water, you can see instead of a 1/2-inch wrench or something, you just zip, and having good drivers and good drills.
Sure.
Every 5-gallon water bucket we've used the cordless drill to drill holes in it. So you're absolutely right, Huck.
Yeah. The amount of tools on a farm is astronomical.
Yeah. And what Homestead Jude says regarding tools, buy once, cry once. Don't buy cheap crap. Yes.
Yeah. And people learn that the hard way. I tend to be quite cheap. I do. Like, I don't want to spend money like that. But whenever you, like, just say, for instance, a water hose, I don't even know how many water hoses have gone to water hose heaven on this farm in 4 years.
Hundreds of dollars worth. I can tell you that.
Probably in the thousand. There's a comma involved with the amount of water hoses that we have had and gone through or have now. And learn that even though it says heavy duty, probably it's still crap, in the water hose, especially with the water pressure that we have. And so, we did get to where we were buying all the expensive water hoses, but they still don't last. And right now, we just only buy the 0G. They'll still pop on the ends, like where the connectors are eventually.
They're a flexible hose, and they've got almost like fire hose material wrapped around the rubber, and they collapse. But they really hold up the best.
Yeah.
Because we've got them running across roads, and we drive over the top of them, and like we've got water hoses going everywhere, y'all.
We're not nice to them.
No.
And we ask a lot.
We do.
Of them. We do. And these hold up.
The 0Gs
really
seem to hold up better than all the rest of them. Down with our breeder pigs, we got tired. It was just hose after hose after hose because the water pressure, we're under a pressurized system, and our well is way up the hill. And by the time it gets down to the pasture where the breeder pigs are, the water pressure is 85 to 90 PSI, and the hoses, it doesn't matter what they say, they will
what they're rated at,
be rated at. The hoses aren't cutting it.
No. So not for long enough for what they cost.
I ended up buying a 500-foot roll of 3/4 inch black poly pipe, and running the black poly across the ground, and
it has worked great.
It's worked.
Of course, we don't drive over it. It's going through the woods and all that. But the cool thing is you've got 500 feet with no joints.
No connections.
And
then I just take it to a hydrant. I built like a hydrant attached to a T-post right next to the pigs. And then I use little hoses then to go to where the pigs are. Except now the piglets, I dropped down to a 5/8 inch piece of poly pipe, and
off you go.
Off through the woods.
Now
I'm going.
Of course, that's in a non-freezing time of year solution, which is 3/4 of the year. Yeah. But in the winter, we haul water or pump water or whatever. It's a wintertime problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Susie Q says, that's why I used to buy all of my laundry soap and 5-gallon buckets.
Ah.
Yep. Carol says, are either of you guilty of using tools and not putting them away? I assume you end up buying things multiple times if you can't find it. No.
Oh, my God. No, he's lying. He's lying right now. No. Oh, it's one of those, I know we have one somewhere, but we need it. Just go get another one. Like, how many of some things do we have? Oh, just go get another one. But seriously, yes. Ask Huck. Huck can attest to it. Because you get so busy on the farm, you take the bag that's got all the tools for the water, to fix the water, go out there, do the thing, throw the tools in there. Guess what? Go set it down. Not even on probably the workbench. It just gets set down near it, and then off to do the next thing. Well, next thing is we got to go fix fence. So take a bunch of tools, throw them in a 5-gallon bucket with all the supplies you need. Off you go. Well, guess what you do when you come back? You set the 5-gallon bucket down and go to the next project. It's true. Happens all the time.
Huck is very good at organizing things.
He's so good.
So yeah. We're getting better at that, Carol.
We're good at organizing things. We're really good at organizing things.
Huck is adding a lot of...
But his ad of making sure that there's the right drawers and things, because his added time and know-how to keep a garage and a barn operating smoothly has been huge.
We really didn't have time.
No, we didn't.
It was just one project after the next, and we didn't have time to put things away. So, Carol, you're absolutely right. We very guilty of using tools and not putting them away. Getting better.
I don't even think we're completely moved in.
No.
We've lived here for 3 years now, and we've been farming so hard and doing this and visiting with you guys like tonight. And we have been doing so many other things that there are things that we've brought from Maryland that are still as they kind of were.
Anna says, I have had a Craftsman 100-foot lifetime hose for about 50 years.
Well, it's because they don't make stuff like that anymore.
I haven't seen it. I'm interested though.
Wow.
I cried when Sears closed, but I see Craftsman Tool at some places.
Oh, who bought it? Oh,
which-
I think Lowe's bought Craftsman.
Well, Tricia says Ace Hardware sells Craftsman now in our area and ours too,
Oh,
and also honors the warranty on their hand tools.
okay.
Well, that's good to know.
Good to know.
Very good to know. Homestead Jude, I use a cordless drill to power my butter churn. Hubby's trick because he got sick of shaking jars when I asked for help. We've got one of those too. One of the big Amish square tub. What is it?
You could make 10 pounds of butter with it.
Yeah. It's got a big paddle in the bottom of it, and you put the grill on or drill on it.
Yeah.
And just whop, 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 whop.
Yeah.
That's a
commitment.
well, it's a commitment to butter. Yeah.
It's a commitment because you're about to be making some butter. You better best get washing.
Rinse and butter. Oh. But it is faster than shaking a jar. Or
oh my gosh.
I bought a Breville food processor because it has a plastic blade, and you can use a food processor with a plastic blade also, but it does like 1 pound at a time.
Right.
So if you've got more than that.
And we've had that before.
Yeah. We use the cordless drill to make butter.
Yep.
It's really good. And then Anna says, thanks. What's Farmhand Huck say? Some tools you have to buy multiple due to their importance. That's true. Like a 10 millimeter socket.
Yes. How many 10 millimeter sockets do we need?
All of them.
I figured you were going to say that.
Upset you to OMG. We lose tools and rebuy them all the time. I think we have at least 2 of everything.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean.
Can I tell y'all my favorite
do.
tool on the farm?
Well, we got one more comment.
Oh, okay.
Josephine says that would be handy to have a bucket of tools for different jobs. Quick grab, check and go.
We do. Well, and we'll have a tool. We have toolboxes, and one of them is with water parts, various different connectors. Some maybe the glue stuff, PVC glue, PVC connectors, just a variety of things.
Dope, pipe tape.
Yeah.
I've got at least one of everything to fix everything.
Yes. Or
I've got a bag.
Electric fence. We've got a toolbox for electric fence. We have a toolbox for fixing fence. And yes, but a lot of times we'll just grab a 5-gallon bucket and throw the extra things that aren't in the toolbox that it's kind of already there.
Mm-hmm. Huck says you need all of them. 10 millimeter.
All of them. All of them. Yes.
Yep. And Homestead
he even wears
Jude
one around
says,
his neck.
That's right. 10 millimeter for sure. They always go missing.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite farm tool?
Y'all want to know what it is? Okay, wait. Y'all, somebody put in guesses what y'all think my favorite farm tool, like outside farm tool is. I'll give y'all just like 2 seconds. I need at least two or three.
Do we need Jeopardy music?
Okay. I'm waiting. Somebody tell me what you think, Susie Q. What's my favorite farm tool? Cow milking machine. That is an excellent farm tool. Like, yes, but no. That's a good one.
Is a good machine.
Yep. Zip ties. Huck said the mule. Zip ties. I think the majority of our farm was built with zip ties.
There are a lot of zip ties.
You can hold together something real quick. Like if something is broken, you can seriously fix it, get it tight enough and good enough and hold that thing up or whatever. And how many zip ties do we have? Every time we would go to, what's that place? Harbor Freight. Every time we go there, we just buy tons of them.
I would buy somewhere close to 1,000 zip ties, and then I would buy ratchet straps.
But yeah. And then one of his uncles gave us a whole bunch of really nice zip ties, and it was like Christmas. Yeah. I'm like, cool, the farm's not going to fall apart now.
Jude said duct tape. Close.
Duct tape, close. Yes. Duct tape's right up there. But zip ties, if we've got, even on our cow pens, we put up 4x4 hardwire cloth, whatever, to keep the sheep in. And instead of going around and putting a bazillion little metal clamps on there, We just went around because we needed it done quickly, just zip tied it, and if it breaks, put another one on there. And it works.
Yeah.
You can do a temporary little piglet pen.
I do.
With them, with the stronger ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you put the panels on the inside of the T-post, so all you needed to do is stand up.
Yeah.
So zip ties are great. So
Yeah.
Anna says, so your favorite tool is zip ties?
Yes, it is a favorite tool. Yeah.
Susie Q says they're great. We buy them in bulk.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jude says baling twine. That's probably my favorite connector.
Yeah, it is. Baling twine. Twine or wire. Baling wire.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Baling wire, not baling twine.
But baling twine is good too because we do hold things.
Mine's baling wire.
Baling wire. Like, a pair of pliers and some baling wire, and you can MacGyver anything. And that's one of the things that we've learned, and we're pretty good at it already. But the absolute necessity of being able to look at something and figure out a way to quickly fix the problem when you farm. It's nothing more than problem solving every single day, because inevitably something is going to.
In a farm like ours, I mean, we've set it up to be very, very complicated. There are so many different animals on the farm and lots of different places, and everybody's got a different kind of pen, and everybody's doing a different thing. And when you have that much complexity, and there's animals involved, and some of them, the boar hog is probably 600 pounds now, and the bull's probably 1,500 pounds now. And, there's just something is always awry.
Yeah. It can. Yeah, for sure.
Mary says maybe bungee cords.
Oh, we have a bunch of those too.
Josephine says it's the claw. I've been a long time. Love fixing fences.
Yep.
And then Mom brings up that we zip tied the bull panel in the garden to the T-post.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, and that way we're not, sometimes things just don't need to be permanently fixated on something, fixed to it, because we're going to take it apart. Right?
Homestead Jude says JB Weld.
Nice.
That's a good one. Yep.
Elbow grease.
Well, true.
Sweat equity and a little elbow grease goes a long ways on a farm, doesn't it? It really does. But one of the things that we learned, and you guys pointed it out, is buying quality. Buy the best tool that you can afford at the time. Buy once, cry once. Yeah. Another amazing tool that we have, we built our farm around it. We knew what we could do because we had the tool, and we bought a tractor straight out of the chute. Before I think we got the tractor before we had large animals.
Yes, we did.
Because we got it in July.
Yep.
And we moved here in June. We got the tractor in July because we knew
before we had any
animals. That's right, because we didn't get animals coming on farm till after August. Mm-hmm. We knew the level of farming that we wanted to do in the future. So we got the primary tool that we knew was going to be required in order to make that happen. And having a big enough tractor.
We rented a 45 horse tractor before we moved here to do some mowing.
Yeah.
And that tractor would not climb the hill and mow. And we were like, I can't only mow downhill.
No.
Like that's just silly.
Yeah.
So where I might have gone with a smaller, like 45, maybe 50 horse tractor.
Had we not rented it. And you would have had so many regrets.
Oh,
because they're not cheap.
Big regrets.
Big ones. Yeah. They're
so
not
we
cheap.
we bought a a New Holland Workmaster 75.
With the cab on it.
With the cab on it.
With the baling spikes, with the bucket, with the bush hog. Yeah. The primary implements that we knew we were going to need. I mean, you got to dig dirt, move dirt, and animals.
Sometimes.
The bale spikes, for sure, front and back. And then the just standard 6 foot, 1 gearbox
bush hog.
Bush hog.
Yeah.
He tried to talk us into some like bat wing thing. And we're like, no, we're not doing that. We don't, our property's not big enough. We don't need to do that. And we've got so many hills.
It's not really set up for it.
It's not set up for
We
that
don't
at
have
all.
this, like, big,
You
huge
can't
open
even,
pastures.
no. And so all that said, the tractor probably is the number one tool, because if we didn't have it, we wouldn't be able to farm at the level that we do.
Correct.
So that's
But
the
we would have built the farm differently.
right.
Had we not gotten the tractor, we would have done things.
Sure.
I mean, like this would be a totally different place.
Right. That's true. That's true. But
Yeah.
so we kind of centered what we were able to do around that primary tool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Jenny says maybe WD-40.
That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All these all-purpose,
Either WD-40 or
things.
duct tape, right?
right? Yeah.
If it's supposed to
Get it
move
moving.
and doesn't, WD-40 or
If,
whatever.
if it's
you know.
moving, not supposed to, duct
Duct
tape.
tape.
That's right.
Carol says, do you see the winter months being a bit slower so that you can get caught up on some of the tasks that you do not have time for during the summer months? We have been here for many winters now.
We're going into our fifth.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
We're going into our fifth winter.
No.
No. Well, because we have a YouTube that keeps us busy, and a podcast that keeps us busy. And then the winter is, because we don't shelter our animals, we still have to make sure that they are in good condition.
It's less
right?
daylight. We have to deliver water at least twice a day.
Yeah.
Like
So
it does slow down some, so that we won't have, all we'll have is our layer birds.
Mhm.
Um,
But we're still milking. And we still have to give the cows hay every single day.
There's much less daylight to work with.
Yeah.
Also.
But we don't do a lot of farm projects in the winter. We may do some tree clearing or something. Huck's got some really big ideas about some silvopasture stuff that he wants to do. And when the trees are without leaves, that's a lot easier to get in, when the briars are down. So, but like it's pretty much just daily management, and we don't get into big projects. So yes, in one way, but we still stay busy. We don't just sit by the fire and, drink cocoa. Some people get to.
Susie Q says, a great pair of boots go a long way to getting things done. Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more. Yes.
I will always have a great pair of boots. I do not like cheap boots.
Oh, no. Everything that touches the ground, shoes, sheets, tires.
Sheets? Well, they don't touch the ground.
You touch, it's like, that, but maybe it's not the ground, but it's like what you're touching. Whatever it is that you're touching. It's got shoes, sheets, and tires.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It matters. High quality.
Jude says PB Blaster is much better than WD-40.
Oh.
And Tricia says, we tell ourselves this like every year, that things will slow down in the winter, but somehow it never really does. That is exactly what we have found.
Yeah. Yep.
Somehow.
It is. Somehow.
We think we're so excited is that like the birds start leaving and the meat bird season calms down.
Okay, but one thing that does happen is we can go to bed earlier. We can, because it gets dark earlier. We do our rounds or chores in the evening about 4:30. So we're back in. We can eat supper, sit down and relax for a few minutes, check emails, whatever. And then whenever we're done, we can watch TV for a little bit and then go to bed. But in the summertime, it gets to 9 o'clock and we're just eating,
Okay, I guess we need to eat.
Yeah, we should eat now. But in the winter, we can rest more because we tend to go to bed earlier.
That's true.
Because there's so much dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so in that way, yes.
Huck says in the wintertime, it just shifts gears.
It does. Yes, it does. Well, this is a fun conversation, and we're so glad that we made it. We weren't even sure if we were going to at one point because everyone in front of us was driving really slow to get back here. But we're glad that we did. And we love hanging out with you guys on Mondays. And we really thank you for coming and doing this with us, and just having fun conversations.
Oh, this is a good point. Phil says, good evening. We're looking forward to seeing you at the Ozark Expo in Marshfield next week.
Yes.
That is true.
We will be there. We're going to have our vendor tent set up for Air2Ground meats. We will have some
It's going to be Air2Ground Farms.
Air2Ground Farms. It's going to be Air2Ground meats, but to put a different logo on there. So we're going to be there as Air2Ground Farms. We will have some things to sell. We'll have a freezer, so we will have meat product, that you can order on Friday and, come back on Saturday and pick it up. And we'll have some of our meat sticks and stuff. And Living Traditions Homestead, Kevin and Sarah will be speaking this weekend. So that is going to be exciting to get to hear them talk about whatever they have decided to talk about. So that'll be fun. And probably they'll be by our booth some. So, you guys stop by and say hi to all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And have a wonderful week. It is Monday today. I hope you guys had a wonderful Labor Day and you didn't get caught in too much traffic. And until next week.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.